Hello everyone, my name is Brian Bourgeon and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to try something a bit different in the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Formula 1. Today I'll be talking about the Italian Grand Prix today at Monza. And personally, I watched it this morning. I've watched a lot of F1 starting since 2020, and personally I've grown a bigger and bigger fan of it despite the current state of it, but that's not saying that it's bad. It's good, but eventually you would like something different. But the best team and best driver come out on top. It's not a problem. They deserve it. But today, I'm going to do something different in the channel. We're going to talk about Formula 1. Today I'm going to talk about Monza. Personally, today was a really good race. It was really enjoyable, to be honest. Since the beginning of the second half, that started last weekend at Sandboard, Formula 1's been doing pretty good. 2 good races in a row. But yeah, nonetheless, it's been pretty entertaining. Started off early with a great first 15 laps between Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen. Those two battle it out for 15 laps. Sainz had 14 laps. That's the most laps a non-Red Bull driver has led this season, with 15. So it's been that type of season for Red Bull that they've dominated that much. But nonetheless, Sainz and Verstappen did battle, a lot of battle, and personally, it was extremely enjoyable to see those two battle it out. But lap 15, Verstappen capitalized on a mistake on Carlos Sainz entering turn 1, locked up. Turn 2, flew past him basically. Then into turn 3, into the chicane. Finally complete the pass and sailed ahead. He took the lead. Never looked back, to be honest. But despite Verstappen taking the lead, plenty of other stuff happened. We had George Russell versus Sergio Perez battle a lot. They've done battle before. Plenty of times. Two very competitive drivers for both Mercedes and Red Bull. Did battle for plenty of laps, but Sergio Perez eventually, around the middle part of the race, finally got past the British driver, George Russell. And that would put him up to P4, whilst you had Verstappen ahead of both Sainz and Leclerc for first, second, and third. Then during pit stops, here's the part here. The middle part of the race didn't have much compared to the first 15 laps, first 15, 16, 17 laps, to the final, let's say, 10 laps, final 12 laps. The first half and the last half of today's race were really entertaining, in my opinion, really good. The middle part kind of lagged behind with not much passing, not a lot of battling. Just had Verstappen dominating whilst it's a bit of a DRS train between Sainz, Leclerc, and Perez. But during that, there were pit stops. Some things happened. For example, McLaren teammates, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, made contact, causing them to collide. Thankfully, no one spun out, but yep, Piastri was coming out of the pits, heading to turn 1, went a bit wide, got into Lando Norris. That's one of the things that happened during the pit stop cycle. And then, a couple laps later, we got 10 laps to go. Lewis Hamilton and Oscar Piastri made contact, heading into one of the chicanes of the track, the second chicane of the track. Once you go to turn 1, 2, and 3, and turn 4, they made contact in turn 4. Unfortunately, that ended up ruining Piastri's race. Piastri would end up, he was running in the points at the time, but unfortunately he ended up finishing P11. There's some contact between Hamilton and Piastri. Unfortunately, both drivers had to take to the escape route. Unfortunately, Piastri had front wing damage and had to, pit. Cost him a lot of time. Granted, he ended up finishing with the fastest lap, like a 1:25.0. So, I mean, the McLaren was pretty fast around Monza, despite some issues, not the best starting position, but they did what they did. So, they did what they had to do most. And at the end of the day, Lando Norris finished P8, Piastri P11, not bad. It's all around a bit of a decent performance. And then we head to the final 10 laps, and this is where stuff really kicked off. Again, starting off with the Hamilton Piastri incident, a lot of things happened. First, you had Sergio Perez making a move on Carlos Sainz for P2, and then it left off with the two Ferraris to duel it out in front of the Tifosi at Monza, Italy. So it was this was, in my opinion, the best part of the race, because you had two teammates really fighting it out hard. It was hard but clean racing. Really entertaining to watch. They almost collided a couple times, Carlos Sainz and the Monegasque Charles Leclerc. But despite that, they raced really well. It was really, really fun to watch. Really entertaining. Really good. And, I mean, despite nearly having their incidents, they've still managed to finish P3 and P4. Podium for Carlos Sainz. First time on the podium this year. And a Ferrari driver on the podium at Monza, which is really, really good. It's a vibe. It really does hit different. But it was good. It was good. Charles Leclerc finished fourth. At the end of the day, they're both good with each other. They both said that, hey, it was hard racing. Sainz may not say he wouldn't call it necessarily fun, but Leclerc did admit it was pretty fun, though. Both hard racers. They've raced like that since they were in go-karting. But in general, it was just really fun to see them battle it out. Again, it was good. It was some good stuff. But at the end of the day, those two drivers, the Ferrari drivers, would come home P3 and P4. Sergio Perez would come home P2 to now Max Verstappen, who now wins his 10th consecutive race in a row. Think about this. 10 races in a row is extremely rare in the modern era of auto racing. 10 in a row. It's amazing. Granted, you could say that Verstappen has the best car, but in reality, Verstappen's just been on another level, on another league, in another space compared to the rest of the drivers. I mean, he's been phenomenal. And again, 10 races in a row in auto racing is absurd. It's something you don't really see often. The last time I can remember a driver winning 10 races in a row was way back from, I saw a little tweet there on Twitter. That was since been like 1967 or 1968 that Richard Petty won 10 races in a row. And in the modern era, right now in NASCAR, the highest amount of consecutive wins in a row in NASCAR in the modern era, 1972 to this year, is only 4 races in a row. 10 in a row today achieved by Verstappen, and in NASCAR, 4 in a row. That's amazing. That's insane. It really shows how Verstappen's been on it. Red Bull's been on it. Like, Adrian Newey, the man who helped build the current Red Bull car for both Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, it's been incredible. It's a rocket ship, especially a rocket ship in the hands of Max Verstappen. Again, 10 in a row is incredible. Like, it's something you don't see often. It's like you won't see this in a while. I mean, who knows, to be honest. We don't personally know how long Max Verstappen's going to be winning for. I mean, he's in an insane pace. It doesn't look like he's going to slow down. Like, the sky's the limit for him right now. The sky is truly the limit. We'll see how many races he wins in a row, and when he can become the champion. He could win the championship in Suzuka. He could win it in the sprint race in Qatar. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see. But again, now that we talk about some of the highlights, I want to talk about the racing. Again, the racing was really good. It was pretty entertaining seeing all the battles between the two Ferraris, Russell and Perez, Verstappen and Sainz and Perez. Even some midfield battles you had, Alex Albon versus Lando Norris versus Piastri, Hamilton against Piastri despite them coming together. And you had a lot of good stuff. I mean, good racing throughout. I mean, it was really, really entertaining to see how everyone fared, how they finished. It was really, really entertaining in my opinion. But now we head to the results. Some of the results, we got Max Verstappen P1, Sergio Perez in P2, Carlos Sainz P3, Charles Leclerc P4, George Russell P5, despite having a penalty early in the race due to leaving the track and gaining an unfair advantage against Esteban Ocon. And I mean, it was kind of a worthless penalty because, well, at the end he still finished, I believe, P5, which was really good. But at the same time, he shouldn't have gone to that battle with Ocon because the Alpines were nowhere this race. They finished way, way back. I mean, Ocon retired, so he DNF'd, unfortunately. And Gasly finished around 15th, I believe. So, yeah, they were nowhere this race. So, I mean, they can't really do much. I mean, they didn't have the pace and race pace chart. They were pretty far back, so they couldn't do much, sadly. But at the end of the day, those races happen. It's part of the sport. So, yeah, you'll have to move on. And then you got drivers like Lewis Hamilton finishing in the top 10. Alex Albon, Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso. Again, Alonso who's made the Q3, qualified number 3, final round. Every race this season, which is insane, considering that, well, Aston Martin's kind of started to get into a bit of a decline as a couple races in terms of performance, and especially in the high-speed tracks. But, well, to be fair, Aston Martin's not good here in high-speed racetracks, so it's bound to happen. But, yeah, finished P9, and Valtteri Bottas finished P10 for Alfa Romeo. A good result for the team. Good result. And again, some notables that finished outside the points: Oscar Piastri, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, who unfortunately retired even before the race began with engine issues. So, yeah, another notable, Liam Lawson, who I believe finished P11. This is Liam Lawson's second career race in Formula 1, and he finished 11th. That's insane in only his second race. He's got amazing talent. He's got plenty of talent, and I hope it's good enough to get him a seat for next year, which would be amazing. But there you have it. That's a little quick, different video about different sport. One of my favorite sports now, Formula 1. So I decided to change it up. I hope you all like it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe. All those things really help me. And I will see you all tonight. Tonight's the Sun 500. Should be a really good race. Whole lot of different storylines. Some drivers in different places. A whole lot of things to look out for tonight. So should be really fun. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later tonight. Thank you.